Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Celebrate 50 years of memories at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney, July 12th through the 18th. Bring the whole family for a week packed with fun, including the carnival, livestock exhibits, rodeo, queen contest, Julia Neville in concert, the Bill Riley Talent Show, bingo, the Scotcheroo Baking Contest, bags tournament, and so much more. For the complete schedule and event details, visit expokeokukco.com. The Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney, July 12th through the 18th. Driven by purpose, powered by community.
Nice weather is finally here, and it has a funny way of inspiring home projects. Good news, your hometown lumber store is ready to help make those ideas happen. From quality decking and railing to energy-efficient windows and beautiful new doors, you'll find the products, expertise, and service you need to upgrade your home this season. So whether you're building, updating, repairing, or finally getting started, we're here to help every step of the way. Visit Sigourney Lumber today. Everything you need for summer projects, all in one place.
This is Eddie from Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. We're celebrating 6 amazing years with a 6-day anniversary party, July 12th through the 17th. Stop in for food, free giveaways, prizes, and the grand opening of the Lone Star Locker Room, featuring hundreds of Dallas Cowboys collectibles. Home Plate Sports Cards located at 1516 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. Come celebrate all week long. See you there.
Boy, it is time for Real Talk on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook and YouTube. The guy that's losing his mind right now is Pastor Aaron Fleming from New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa, our fine sponsor of this program. Aaron, how the heck are you?
I'm doing pretty swell, Steve. It's been an exciting last couple of weeks. World Cup soccer. My brother follows British Premier League soccer. I don't do that, but every 4 years I get kind of bonkers for soccer. It's like the Olympics, except all of the games, like you can tell how they score, unlike diving.
Yeah.
There's
definitive
kind of weird
scoring.
Yeah, there's definitive scoring. How do you score gymnastics?
Yeah.
Well, that little kid can do a lot of flips, but that little kid can do also a lot of flips.
But they stuck the ending, whatever.
The landing. Yeah. So, yeah, soccer, if they score, at least it's definitive.
Yeah.
So there's
Don't
been
they have
that.
like sensors like on all the goalposts now, and you can, or is that just hockey? Or I'm not up on soccer, so
they did say that they have just implemented sensors in the ball.
Okay.
So which I cannot believe that this has not come to football yet.
Yeah.
Like, how is there not a sensor that you would be able to know exactly how far forward the ball went?
Sure.
Like, 5 years from now, are we ever going to have to get the chains out and measure?
No.
They
basically don't anymore anyway.
It's we're 5 years or less away from having sensors in American football.
Yeah.
We've got to be. So that's been fun. Church has been fun. Last weekend we had a pool party and had a potluck, had some baptisms. So
I was going to say, if you're in a pool, you got to be baptizing some people.
You might as well baptize some people if you're going to have a pool party. So, it's been a good summer so far, and I'll be heading out to a wedding this weekend, and then the weekend after that. This is crazy, man. My oldest daughter's getting married.
Wow.
How
are we at this age, Aaron?
How are we at this age? I don't know. It's great.
Just another stage of life.
But I think we all hope that this day will come. Like, we want our kids to be able to find somebody. but it's just a little like, whoa, what's going on? So that's what's going on in my life. Anything exciting going on here?
I mean, still just kind of, we're getting moved into the new studios here at 120 East Washington on the north side of the square in Sigourney. But yeah, it's good. For me, baseball and softball has wrapped up for my coverage. So my evenings are getting back to normal. The month of June just flew by. So now, finally getting some normalcy for evenings again. And just kind of laying low until football kicks in the fall. So at least sports-wise.
Get 6 or 7 weeks with no sports.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll have to help you out with coverage of the home Sigourney cross-country meet this fall.
Sure. But fair season is also upon us. State fair's not too far away. County fairs are in full bloom right now, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah. So good time. Summer is such a great time in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's real. All right. So here's something. We're going to go back to our journey in Genesis. And I just shared with this on Sunday with the people who got baptized. So if you were at New Life on Sunday, you got a little dose of this already. But 2 things. Last week, Abram parted ways with Lot, and we find out first Lot lived among the cities on the plain, and then he lived near Sodom, and then he eventually ends up living in Sodom. It's like this story where he's creeping slowly closer and closer and closer creeping away from Abraham and creeping towards living in Sodom, which turns out disastrously for him, but that's for another day. But the first disaster that happens, it gets even more disastrous than this. But the first disaster is that Sodom is defeated in a war, and the enemy kings just haul everybody away. And Lot gets kidnapped, his family gets kidnapped, all their stuff gets taken, and so disaster. So in chapter 14 of Genesis, we read this. One who escaped the war, one who had escaped, came and reported this to Abram the Hebrew.
Okay.
Now, what are we going to get at? We're going to get something out of this. Abram the Hebrew. And this is the first time in the Bible that the word Hebrew is used. Which is interesting because it's all written in Hebrew. So far it's all been in Hebrew, but the word Hebrew has not been mentioned. And now for the first time, one of God's people is identified as a Hebrew. What's the big deal about that? The big deal about that is that the root of the word Hebrew means to cross over. Oh, well, what does that mean? If you get out a map, and you could just, like, you don't even have to have a map. You just have to have an internet connection. This stuff is so easy anymore. You just Google this stuff. Where did Abram start his journey, and where did he end up? And you'll see that he starts his journey in what is now probably northern Syria. I don't have a map in front of me, but northern Syria. And like the first step on his journey, the first obstacle is the Euphrates River, which is like the biggest river in that whole region of the world. So the very first thing that Abram does is he crosses over a river. And I don't know if he was the first person ever to be... Whoa.
Phone volume.
Forgot to turn my cell phone off. Well, that was a...
You're real talk here.
Okay. Then.
Some people forget to turn their phones off.
I usually don't, but here I am making a noob studio mistake. And how long have we been doing this, man?
It's a while now.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
I have not crossed over into studio expertise yet.
Yes. Etiquette.
So Abram becomes identified with the step that he took in crossing over the river. So I don't know if there were a bunch of dudes named Abram running around, and maybe there were. Maybe it was a popular name like Steve. Well, which Steve? Steve of the media would be how you would be identified if we didn't have last names. Which Steve? Oh, media Steve. Which Abram? The one who crossed over. Oh. Hebrew. He crossed over. That says something about him, doesn't it? Like, he used to live on the other side of this big river. It was this big obstacle, but he heard from God, and God told him to leave his country behind. And so he found a way to get across that river. And then he made a little fire and put a pot on and put some tea in it, and he brewed. That was disastrous. Remind me to never say that in a sermon. He is the kind of guy who would go on an adventure. This is the kind of guy who would face danger. This is the kind of guy who would, like, and they didn't have bridges back then. There were no bridges over the Euphrates River. So I don't know how he did it. Did they make boats? Maybe they just swam. Maybe it was the middle of the summer and the water got really low and they risked it and they waded across. I don't know. But what we do know about Abram is that he's the kind of guy who would cross over. And so when there's a crisis and enemy kings come in and capture the whole city and haul off all the people to make them into slaves and haul off all of their stuff, which kind of reminds me, Steve, it kind of reminds me of what Jesus said about Satan, which is that he is a thief who comes only to steal and kill and destroy. So when the enemy comes to afflict God's people, Abram is the guy that you go and tell the bad news, because you know that if anybody can do something about it, it's going to be Abram. And what happens next? Well, that's from Genesis chapter 14. So you'll have to go read the story yourself. But here's the thought as I was preaching about this on Sunday and we were talking about baptism. What is baptism? It's a symbolic entering. Well, you do actually enter water. It would be kind of cool if we could do it in a river. Like the symbolism would be a little more cool. I don't know how many people actually want to get in the English River. There might be some health concerns there. Some summers the water is so low that you could, like, if you tried to baptize somebody, you'd have to lay them down backwards and get their back wet, and then lay them down forwards and get their front wet.
Flip them over.
Flip him over. It reminds me of
there.
Some of those guys on TV that you used to do slaying in spirit. You know,
Yeah.
I saw this one guy where, like, he smacks the guy in the head and the guy falls down and the preacher says, "Pick him up," and he's like, his team picks the guy up and he smacks him in the head again and like 3 times. Pick him up, and then yeah, we'd have to do that with baptism. Yeah, there's health concerns with rivers around here. I don't know which is dirtier, the English River or the Skunk River. Who knows? So we're gonna do. We did our baptisms in a nice chlorinated pool. It was safe, but there's this symbol of entering into water as a symbol of entering into the death of Christ and then being raised from the dead. But there's all these other Old Testament symbols that baptism also ties to. We read in, I think it's 1 Peter, about the symbol of Noah being saved in the ark. Like there's a flood and there's water and they're saved through that. So there's a connection with the water of baptism and the water that covered the earth and you're saved through that. There's the symbol of Israel passing through the Red Sea, and then Pharaoh's chariots trying to charge after them and recapture them all, and the waters closing. And so the believer passes safely through the water of baptism, but the devil cannot pass through the water of baptism. So we got those kinds of symbols that are pretty fun to contemplate. But this one is the symbol of becoming a person who receives a new identity. And you get that, like foundationally, you become a child of God. You go from death to life. It's not going from being a good person or a bad person to a good person. It's going from being a spiritually dead person to a spiritually alive person, from being a lost person to being a found person. And that's the covenant that we enter into with God through baptism. And so we take on kind of that bedrock. All children of God share those identity pieces, but we also begin to take on a God-given, personalized identity that is, I believe, like what Abram demonstrates to us, is that it will be connected to this reality that we are overcomers, that we are people who go on an adventure, that we are people who go on a journey, that we are people who see obstacles and say, you know what, I think that looks really difficult, but I believe that God has a way across. Or we even say, I don't even believe that God has a way across, but I'm going to ask him where the way across is. And when I see it, I'm going to take the way across. God's going to show me a bridge. God's going to show me a boat. God is going to show me how to, here's this, I think it was Alexander the Great, crossed the Indus River, if I'm not messing my story up. We'll just say the Indus River. Nobody believed that he could get across the river because it was too deep, too wide. The enemy on the other side was like, ha, 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 they'll never get over here. So what they did is they killed a whole bunch of goats and skinned them, like one goat for everybody in the army, and sewed up all the ends except for like the neck, and you can huff and puff and fill a goat skin with air and have this inflatable thing. So they made inflatable floaties out of goat skins, and the whole army crossed the river with each dude with his own inflatable goat skin. Is that how Abram got across? I don't know. The point is not so much the details of how Abram got across. The point is, are you going to receive salvation and not just get your ticket punched to go to heaven, but become a river crosser, a Hebrew? Yeah. Now Hebrew's a language, and maybe people might say it's an ethnicity. I don't know. But for us, it's an identity that we're in pursuit of. God, how are you making me an overcomer? I see these obstacles. I don't believe I can get across. No one has ever done this before. Or no one from my family has ever done this before. Nobody from Sigourney has ever done this before. I don't know why I said Sigourney that way. But, we think that way about our small towns sometimes. Sigourney has... When was Sigourney founded, do you know?
A while back. 18 something.
Thank you for that history lesson.
100 and some odd years.
I think it was before the Civil War, so before 1860. Although back then, Lancaster was like a real town.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know where I read this, but I read this. At the outbreak of the Civil War, the town of Lancaster?
Yep.
You say Lancaster.
Lancaster. Yep.
Lancaster had 4 lawyers.
Okay.
And they all went off and joined the army.
Okay.
So, fun fact. They went and crossed rivers, probably. Very first thing they did, they probably crossed the Skunk River and went to Des Moines and enlisted. Everything comes full circle when you have ADHD brain. You don't know where you left your wallet or where you left your keys or things like that, but there's all these pieces of information, and they all connect in the middle. And you just bloop. I think we're at a stopping point.
I think we are too.
All right. Well, thanks for hosting me, Steve. It's always good to be with you and always good to be here for some real talk. And it's always good to be get together on Sunday morning at New Life Church in downtown Wellman. You can find us on 8th Avenue at 257 8th Avenue, or you can park in the city parking lot just off 9th Avenue and come in from the 9th Avenue entrance. We're trying to make it easy for you to come visit us and become part of what's going on at New Life.
Okay, well, get there. Go check things out. And Aaron, thanks for your time as always. We'll do it again next week here on Steve Shetler Media. It's Real Talk with Aaron and Steve, sponsored by New Life Community Church in Wellman.